This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be talking to the legendary, multi-talented, dynamic Hillary Carlip. Where do I begin? She's an author, musician, actress, juggler, fire eater, digital innovator, multimedia mogul, visual artist, etc. She won the Gong Show as a juggler in 1978. She was the lead singer of ex-convict punk rock band Angel and the Reruns. You may remember them from the Tom Hanks comedy classic Bachelor Party. She wears the striped jail shirt and she's got the saxophone. And she's also guest starred on classic shows like Cassie and Company, Taxi, Madam's Place. She danced in Xanadu and Greece too. She was in Maria Vidal's band in one of my favorite vampire comedy movies, Once Bitten, alongside past guest Kim Gold. And she played the cocktail waitress Jet in my favorite vampire movie, Vamp. It's going to be an exciting honor to talk to her today. She's a true Zelig, if ever there was one. And she has a new book out called Willis Wonderland, The Legendary House of Atomic Kitsch. She has written several books, including her memoir, Queen of the Oddballs. This is going to be an epic conversation. So yeah, here is my interview with Hillary Carlip. Hey, Hillary, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm great. Happy to be here. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I can't tell you what an honor this is. I've been a fan forever, so thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's start with this new book, Willis Wonderland, The Legendary House of Atomic Kitsch. It's a pop-up book. It's a tribute to Allie Willis. How did this project come about?
That's right. It's a pop-up book on steroids. Allie Willis, if people don't know who she is, and everyone should, is no longer with us, but was this unbelievable Hall of Fame songwriter. She wrote some of the biggest classic hits of all time, like Earth, Wind, and Fire's September,
Right.
Boogie Wonderland. Wrote the Friends theme song, and also The Color Purple, the musical, and the movie. Just amazing, and a huge, creative juggernaut. She was a multimedia artist as well, and there's actually a documentary out about her now on Hulu, which I highly recommend.
Nice.
Anyway, so I knew Allie for many, many years. She was a good friend, and after she passed, her partner, Prudence Benton, started the Willis Wonderland Foundation, which supports, it empowers the next generation of artists and also just keeps Allie's legacy going. So the documentary came out of that, and they do some excellent educational programs in schools for songwriting. And the foundation asked me to commemorate Allie and her unbelievable house and collection of kitsch, and asked if I could do a pop-up book. So I said, sure, why not? And I figured it all out, found amazing people to collaborate with, and the book is now out. That was a really long answer, wasn't it?
Yes, I loved it. I loved listening to it. Yeah, nobody makes pop-up books anymore. That is so cool. Like, how did the whole pop-up thing come about, though?
Well, Allie was there was nothing ordinary about her. So it was actually the idea of the foundation, because they really wanted to share the house and the collection, and they just thought, what about a pop-up book? And I, did research, found out, you need a paper engineer for a pop-up book, the whole process, and just found incredible people, and we're so proud of it. It's beautiful. We're getting amazing response, and it's very different from your ordinary children's pop-up book or anything like that. It's pretty special, like Allie was.
Oh, yeah. How long did it take to put this book together?
Well, the whole thing took about a year, but that was the three of us, myself, the paper engineer, Mike Malkovich is his name, and Neil McCullough, the brilliant illustrator. Um, the three of us had a lot of other things going on at the same time, so it would have been faster had we only been focusing on it, but the whole thing took about a year. From concept to like having it in our hands.
Nice. What's the response so far?
It's been amazing. We just did a hilarious, brilliant presentation at the Los Angeles Breakfast Club, which is like off the charts. And I did it. I had asked Charles Phoenix. Are you familiar with Charles?
Charles Phoenix? No.
Yeah. Oh, you need to be. He's written numerous books about just pop culture, mid-century modern, architecture, collections. And he also does these slideshows, God Bless Americana, and just tours. He's phenomenal. Anyways, I asked him to do the foreword. He was a friend of Allie's as well, and a brilliant writer. And you know, the Washington Post called Allie the Queen of Kitsch, and the New York Times called Charles the King of Retro. So we, I thought it would be a good match to include him in the book. So Charles and I did a slideshow presentation and a book signing, and it was fantastic. Great response, and everyone's loving the book. So we're very happy about that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Maybe there'll be a sequel. Maybe you can do a tribute to somebody else that you lost that you were friends with.
Right, or just anyone, any organization, or anyone who wants to present themselves in a very unconventional way.
So going back in time, I read the Amazon sample of your memoir, and oh my God, I had a similar upbringing of feeling invisible and having well-meaning but misguided parents. And here's how you handled it, and then I'll tell you how I handled it. I mean, you would fantasize about being a go-go dancer on Hullabaloo or being Wednesday Addams. You got in trouble for imitating Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and you loved Jerry and the Pacemakers. I worshipped Burt Reynolds and Michael J. Fox. I would dress up as them and imitate them while watching their movies. Pee Wee Herman was my comedy mecca. He was my god in comedy. Yep. My favorite band was the Bangles, and
of course.
I got in trouble in kindergarten for yelling like Sam Kinison. So it's a weird parallel universe of relating that we've got,
I was fortunate enough to get a quote for my book, for my memoir, Queen of the Oddballs, from Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
And I also knew him, and what a wonderful, amazing man and talent.
I met him at one of the last conventions before lockdown that he was at, and I spent 2 hours and 30 minutes in line. I have bad legs from my car crash, but it was well worth it. He was the sweetest guy. I just loved meeting him. It's an experience I'll always cherish.
Absolutely, and bringing it around, Allie and Paul were very, very good friends. Very good friends.
Yeah. He was just, there's no one like him. I mean, he formed my love of comedy early on, that guy. And every time I see him, it takes me all back,
Absolutely. Oh, that's sweet.
So what age did you start juggling and fire eating?
I was about 14. I always wanted to perform, but I'm kind of introverted and not naturally out there, and someone taught me how to juggle, and I just was like, okay, this is great. And also I can be out there, but everyone's sort of looking like, look over here, at the juggling and not necessarily at me. So, and the fire eating as well.
Yeah, I don't know how fire eaters do it. That's something I admire so much, but I'm too much of a pussy to try it myself because I just can't stand pain.
Right. If you do it correctly, it's not painful.
I wouldn't even know how to do it correctly.
In another pop culture moment. For my book, Queen of the Oddballs, I was invited onto the Ellen show.
Yeah.
And they didn't at all promote books at the time, but they had me on teaching Ellen how to eat fire. And the greatest thing was Liza Minnelli, who was also on that day, came on stage unannounced at the end of my segment with a fire extinguisher. Like, leave my friend alone, like protecting Ellen. It was hilarious, very funny.
Yeah. Well, when you got on the Gong Show, I mean, did you go in for an audition with hundreds of others?
Yes, yes, that was definitely what the Gong Show was about. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on YouTube, and I was just laughing. First off, you looked really adorable. You looked like a dead ringer for a young Mama Cass back then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She got me. I'll take it. Uh, uh, yeah, that was really fun to do. I was on several times and on the offshoot show called the Raw Raw Show,
Oh
which
yeah.
Chuck Barris also did. I was on with George Carlin on that one,
Oh
so
wow.
it was, yes, very fun.
Yeah, you got to make Rex Reed laugh, and this was back when game shows and variety shows had body humor and anything went.
Exactly.
Today's shows are so boring and they lack substance.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I'm a little proud to say I got the first 10 ever from Rex Reed. Rex Reed was like Simon Cowell of the day,
Yeah.
where, just like really snarky
Yeah.
and yeah, I
High
got the
maintenance.
first 10 ever.
Yeah. Were you there when J.P. Morgan got banned for flashing the camera?
I was not, but she was one of my judges on one appearance, and she was hilarious,
Oh
so
yeah.
funny.
Oh yeah, she was very funny. Yeah, I mean, God, were you nervous at all that night?
I'm sure I was. It was all, also with juggling, you have the extra nerves like, will I drop the balls,
Yeah.
And what I did, it was a comedy juggling song. I know you said you saw it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like juggling it, I was singing and doing shtick and the whole thing. So, yes, I was nervous. But they also, I write about this in my memoir, Queen of the Oddballs. The title came from that chapter about the Gong shows because I just realized I was just surrounded by this like posse of oddballs, and there was just something really fun and delightful about that because the show had either like really good talent or really offbeat things that were so bad they were brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of oddballs.
Yeah. Did you ever go up at the Comedy Store and do that act?
I didn't do like, yeah, because that was more like stand up there.
I know, but so many people in those days would go up at the Comedy Store and do some kind of an act to, like, try to get into show business, even if they never did again, and that act looked like it would have flown at the Comedy Store because it was pretty good.
Thank you. It may be. Uh,
Yeah. So,
and oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, in the fire eating too. I did that on the Gong Show as well, and so Gong Show was the perfect vehicle for strange acts.
Yeah, it sure was. Even Paul Rubens was on there when he first started.
Yes, he was exactly.
So, how did Angel and the Reruns come to be?
Angel and the Reruns is what I created was an all-girl, all ex-con band, and it came out of actually an improv class I was taking. I had created this character, Angel, who was in the slammer and while there got obsessed with TV reruns. So I took it a step further just to create a band like I met other girls in prison. And all our songs were about, most of them were about TV reruns. So our cult hit song, Buffy Come Back, was about poor Buffy from the show from the 60s called
Family
Family
Affair.
Affair.
Yeah.
So Buffy, the poor actress, OD'd at a very young age. So it was, a plea to turn to reruns instead of drugs. And yeah, so the whole thing, I just concocted the whole thing, and all the press really bought that we were ex-cons, and everyone, we did tons of press and tons of interviews. And in fact, People magazine wanted to do a whole thing, but they needed to like fact check where we were in prison and all of that. So we had a manager at the time who just said, the girls are really focusing on the future, not the past. So we declined to be interviewed. But everyone else, nobody else fact checked at all, and bought the story, and it was crazy and fun. I did a press release, jailbirds turned songbirds, and it just struck a chord, and people really responded.
Yeah, like when
and no, we were not in prison. We were not really in prison. One
I
of
know.
my band members had to quit because she had a normal job, and they saw some of the press, and they thought she had been in prison, and they were really questioning her, so she had to quit.
The only other person I can think of who had a band of convicts in a persona was Rich Hall when he was Otis Lee Crenshaw.
Oh, I don't even know that. Now I'm gonna have to check that out.
It got so popular quick. He did it for a few years, and then he realized he needed to stop. Otherwise, he was going to be in that character forever. So he stopped. But it's on YouTube. Oh my God, he's doing this, this love song about prison rape. That's so freaking funny and wrong. He did on Conan O'Brien's show, and I can't believe they let him do that on NBC.
Hilarious. Rich Hall?
Yeah, Rich Hall. Otis Lee Crenshaw was the character.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm checking it out for sure.
Yeah, Miriam Cutler was in the band. She had been in the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo.
Yes.
Did you see her when she was in that band?
Yes. And Miriam and I co-wrote all the songs for Angel and the Reruns.
Yeah.
So she was my collaborator. And yes, so talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you a Mystic Knights fan?
I'm a huge Boingo fan in general. I've had Johnny Votto on here, and he's a great guy. Yeah, a great drummer too.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, Miriam played a mean clarinet. She's now, for many years, been scoring films, documentaries mostly, and she's so talented.
Mm-hmm. Did you girls ever do shows with the Screaming Sirens?
We never did. We didn't do that many live shows. We do. I mean, you sound like you're an LA person, or were you at all?
I'm not an LA person, but I'm immersed in the culture because I'm just a culture nut in general,
Gotcha. Well, there was a club where all the punk and new wave bands performed in the 80s called Madame Wong's.
Uh-huh.
And so we performed there, but we mostly did a lot of TV, and we were in some films, the movie Bachelor Party. We were the girl band at
yes,
the Bachelor Party.
That's how I first became aware of you girls, was Bachelor Party.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah, so we didn't really perform with other bands as much as, we had, maybe if we were doing more live shows, we would have.
Yeah, so how did Bachelor Party come to you girls?
I don't even remember. I mean, we were pretty known at the time, and I guess just someone involved got the idea of having us be the band at the party. And yeah, we did an original song, Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Boys?
Yep.
It was one of our non-rerun songs. And we did a song that Adrian Zemed sang. He played Tom Hanks' best friend.
Yep.
And we played along with him and sang with him, and we're on the record with him as well. So very fun.
And that record was produced by Rick Derringer. What was he like to work with?
Yes, it was. He was great. Amazing guitarist and producer, and we were honored. We were just this crazy kind of, thing that started as a character and almost like a novelty band, and here we were working with someone legit. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, at that time he was producing Weird Al, and he was kind of distancing himself from performing for a while and just, focus on producing.
Yeah, right.
My favorite song that you girls did was No One Left at All for the Grandview USA soundtrack. It's a beautiful song.
Thank you so much. It's like one of the obscure ones, so I
Hmm.
really appreciate that.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's still timely, right? It's about,
Hmm.
the end of the world and the fighting and like who could be blown up first, basically. But it's a ballad. It's a tender ballad.
Very tender ballad. And you all got to perform on Thick of the Night.
Yes, with Alan Thicke. That was really fun. And there was a crazy daytime show called Fantasy with Leslie Uggams. She was the host. And I thought it was a great show because it was about fulfilling people's fantasies. And like, I have no idea why we were on, but we
Yeah.
were. And then do you remember Dance Fever, of course, with Denny Terrio?
Probably, or was he a local guy? Because if it's local, I probably didn't know it.
No, this was national. This was a big show, Dance Fever. And
Oh yeah, Dance Fever. Yeah, I remember Dance
yeah,
Fever.
yeah, and we were on twice, and once because I guess they had, I don't think it was judges. I don't even remember the format, but they always had three celebrities, and we could never perform Buffy Come Back on TV because it was too controversial.
Yeah.
So the flip side of our 45 was Beaver Cleaver Fever. And we performed that, and the three either judges or panelists, whatever they are, were Jerry Mathers, Barbara Billingsley, and who played Eddie.
Oh,
I can't remember his name,
Ken
but
Osmond.
the friend Eddie Haskell.
Yeah, Ken Osmond.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was the three of them. So that was really great.
I met Jerry Mathers a couple of years ago at a Comic Con. He's a very quiet, nice guy.
Aw, the Beeve.
The Beeve. Yeah.
Believe in the Beeve.
Yeah, yeah, Buffy Come Back. I mean, this was at the time that the Boomtown Rats are doing I Don't Like Mondays, and people are taking tragedies and turning them into songs and stuff.
Mhm.
But you guys didn't mean any malice, did you?
Not at all. It was really like, it was intended to be kind of an anti-drug song,
Hmm.
like turn to reruns instead, and which is a crazy message, I know, but it was done with love, and I think that's why it struck a chord with people as well, because it wasn't mean at all.
Hmm. Did you girls make a music video?
We did. Wait, no, we made the one music video we did was not for Buffy. It was for a song called "He's a Sneak,"
Oh,
and I can't even remember if we released it anywhere, but it lives on in the annals of history
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. Because I was looking on YouTube for a music video and I didn't see any. I just saw the songs uploaded and stuff. It was all good.
Yeah,
You're the fourth person I've talked to from Xanadu.
really.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Xanadu.
Did you know that movie was a disaster when you were on set?
Not really, because I was in the big musical numbers, like the Fiorucci number, the All Over the World,
Hmm.
and the finale with Xanadu and Magic, the whole, roller skating in the Pan Pacific Auditorium.
Yeah.
So I don't think we even were aware of how kind of cheesy the rest of the script was with with just the whole story. So no, and I don't know if anyone at the time thought. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be bad. And those skating movies at the time were so popular with Roller Boogie and
Yeah.
everything like that. So I'm guessing they thought it would be a big hit instead of a cult classic. You know,
Yeah.
making fun of hit.
Well, Ren Woods and Christine Nazareth both told me that they thought it was a disaster. Lena Posey was kind of in the middle. And yeah, I mean, it's Gene Kelly's last movie, and it's sad that that was his last movie. He should have done at least like a human drama to go out on, since he couldn't dance anymore. You know.
Exactly. Well, that's interesting to hear that they thought it was a disaster, because that wasn't the vibe on the set at all. It was just like,
Oh, they had fun. They had
yeah,
fun, but they just knew this is a cheesy idea.
yeah, it was with the muses at the end, like, yeah. But again, if you maybe they were on to the rest of the script, I don't know, but yes, and when you hear and see the story, it's a disaster, but
I
a beautiful disaster.
Yeah, I went to go see the Tubes, and I went to their meet and greet, and I said, you know, they did two shows in one night, and I went to the first one, and I think I stayed for the second one a little bit, and I said to them, you know, backstage, I said, you guys gonna do songs from Xanadu or Modern Problems or My Science Project, you know, the movie soundtracks, and they're like, oh no, we hate those songs.
That makes sense. They were a great band in San Francisco mostly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kenny Ortega, who choreographed Xanadu and was also my friend, he worked with them a lot. So he brought in like all his friends to Xanadu, including the Tubes.
Yeah, I'm a huge Tubes fan.
Yeah,
You're
that's great.
And then I've talked to a bunch of people from Greece too. I talked to Donna King last week, and I've talked to Lucinda Dickey and Ivy Austin and Maureen Teefy. Anything stand out about that?
No, it was just really fun. I mean, I hilarious that I got cast in it. I don't even remember how or why, because I've done a million things and I'm, fairly good at many things, but I
Yeah,
suck as a dancer. I am not a dancer at all. And yeah, I got cast to be in several, I think maybe because of Xanadu or something. But just really fun to do, very fun. And like Michelle Pfeiffer, her first film after being discovered as a grocery checkout girl.
yeah. Is that where you first met Adrian Zmed?
No, interesting. No, I think Bachelor Party was before Grease 2. I can't remember which was which.
Grease 2 was first, actually.
Oh, okay. Then yes, then
And
it would be yes.
and Tom Hanks auditioned for Grease 2 to play Max Caulfield's role because he was on Bosom Buddies at the time, and
Oh
Paramount
my
was the same
God.
studio, so they said, you want to come in and audition for this movie, and he didn't get it, but it's okay.
Hilarious. No, I thought Maxwell Caulfield was perfect. He
Yeah.
was, and I'm sort of surprised he didn't have much of a career after. But yeah, I could not picture Tom Hanks in that role at all.
Yeah, I can't either. Also, Andrew Dice Clay auditioned for the role because he was going on a lot of auditions being a comedy store comedian at the time. And the reason he didn't get cast in Grease 2 was because they didn't want another Travolta in the role.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
I saw your episode of Cassie and Company. Yeah, it's on
No
YouTube.
way.
Yes. Oh my God, you are so good in that. You're just, you're that travel agent, and you're like, I have a thing for mammals. My husband weighs 260.
Oh my God. I can't, I have not heard that since then. Where did you see it? Is it online somewhere?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, I just typed in
Oh,
the episode, whatever the name of it was I saw on IMDb. And yeah, I was like, oh my God, she looks so cute.
oh my God. It's so funny because I was doing like shtick. I was eating candy. I decided to
Yeah.
do that at the travel agency um, as I was doing my lines. And Angie Dickinson, as she was leaving, she ad-libbed and went, "You're adorable." And to this day, I have friends who say that to me in that voice,
Yeah.
teasing me about that. You're adorable. Now I so have to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Angie Dickinson.
Oh yeah.
My favorite story I ever heard about her. This guy I know who had a podcast. He flew to L.A. to interview her on his podcast in her home, and after they were done, this is like 9 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "What are you gonna do now?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go back to my hotel and watch TV because I catch a plane tomorrow to go back to New York." And she's like, "Oh no, you're not. You're coming with me. We're gonna go shopping. We're gonna have lunch and
Oh,
dinner. I'm gonna buy you drinks. We're gonna have some fun today."
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
She was something, definitely.
and she was 86 or 87 at the time.
Oh my God, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, you were on Madam's Place with Waylon Flowers.
Yes, I was. An entire episode. um, I had a business called Rent a Fan Club,
Mm-hmm.
and my partner and I were also, I don't know, I did a lot of crazy things that happened to get a lot of publicity at the time.
Yeah.
So we had gotten, I guess, an article in People magazine came out. And because of that, the show contacted us and they wrote a whole episode around our characters. It was Cindy and Mindy Rent a Fan Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were Madam's fan club, and Marty Allen shows up.
Oh God.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was a really fun thing to do.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, he's a genius, and most people don't remember him. But like, I heard that Waylon Smithers on The Simpsons is based on him in tribute. You know, because he's a gay character
Oh,
named Waylon. Yeah.
fantastic. Well, good. He deserved a tribute. And just to watch him work Madam with those hands, those puppet
Yeah.
like sticks that do the hands, and they'd film like, up above, and he'd be lying down doing the whole voice and the sticks. It was something, really something.
There was a lot of ventriloquists in those days, and there needs to be a documentary about it because it's like a lost comedy art. I mean,
Absolutely.
we see Jeff Dunham doing it, right? He's the biggest one right now, but like,
Yeah.
it's like no one's doing it anymore. It's sad.
Absolutely, you're right. Come on, Tommy, do it. I think a documentary is in your future.
I used to do dirty puppet shows with like, paper bags when I was a kid.
Ah,
I never had my own
hilarious.
marionettes, unfortunately. I wasn't like Howard
No.
Stern. That was a Long Island thing. Like kids who grew up in Long Island, New York, they always had puppets.
Seriously, I hadn't heard that. That's brilliant.
Back in like the 50s and 60s. Oh yeah, it was a popular thing. Most performers from New York you'll meet had marionettes.
Hilarious. Who knew?
You play a singing fruitcake telegram on Taxi.
I did
I
indeed.
remember that. Yeah.
I delivered singing telegrams, doing all sorts of characters in LA, and yes, I was then on Taxi delivering one to Judd Hirsch.
Yeah. Did you get the note? Did you get to witness any of the antics of Andy Kaufman?
Yes, he was there, and I do remember. He was so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember him. The standouts for him, and that Judd Hirsch gave all the actors jars of jelly beans.
Oh
That
shit.
stood out to me for some reason as a welcome to the set gift, which was very sweet. So
And
yeah.
Louise Lasser was in that episode. She's known for being a pain in the ass, was she?
Oh, I don't remember her at all being there. Just Andy and the jelly beans. No, and I don't. Yeah, I do not remember. Wait, I sort of do. Now we're going back.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, sort of.
Hmm. And then you're in
Yeah.
you're in Going Berserk.
Oh yes. that had a lot of small weird parts, playing weird characters. That, and Once Bitten with Jim Carrey and
Yep.
Lauren Hutton.
We got the Kim Gold connection.
Oh, right, right. And then Vamp, yet another vampire movie with Grace Jones.
My favorite. Yes.
She is, or the movie, or both.
Oh, of the movie. Yeah, I mean, Grace Jones is great. She's a scary vampire, I have to say.
Yes, definitely. And I had a really good line in that it was really dirty and funny, and then it was cut.
Oh, I think I know what it is. I don't know the line, but I know what led up to it. It's when Getty Watanabe says to you, "What time do you get off?" You're like 2:30, and he's like, "Can I watch?"
Right. Yes, it was exactly around that.
Well, what did you say?
I don't remember, but it had to do with his size and a Cheerio, but I don't remember the full line. But it was. I'm gonna have to dig that one out.
Oh, that reminds
pretty funny.
That reminds me of the comedian Richard Jenny. He did this comedy bit where he was talking about, he was asked to do a presenting at the porn awards, and he's like, you never see any realistic porno movie trailers. For once, I'd like to see something like, where it's like, this guy is built different. A man with a dick that's bigger than most cars you've ever owned. Whereas you can fuck a Cheerio without breaking it.
Yeah, honestly, I think that was probably the line. Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Because it had, I mean, if that was a thing, and I remember it had to do with his size and Cheerio, then yes, that was exactly it.
Yeah. Vamp, I love that movie. Dee Dee Pfeiffer's been on here twice. She's so good in it.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing I remember from Vamp was we were filming one scene where all the vampires come out at night downtown, and it was absolutely freezing. It was freezing. It was like 3 in the morning, and the director would just go, "Lose the coats," and we'd have to like throw them off, and we were all in like sleeveless things and have to be like, vamping down the street in like, it was freezing. That's what I remember.
Oh, yeah. I heard it was pretty cold in the streets of LA in like wintertime. I think the Challenger explosion happened while you guys were filming.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't connect the timing on that at all.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's like, After Hours meets what eventually became From Dusk Till Dawn. I think Tarantino ripped off this movie for it bad.
Probably. Now I have to see it again. I haven't seen it since then, so it would be interesting to see it again.
Yeah, I don't know why Richard Wenk didn't make any other significant movies after that.
I don't know. And yeah, Dee Dee Pfeiffer was great. I remember that as well.
I know she regrets not doing nudity in it because later she posed for Playboy when she was a lot more confident and older. She's like, God, what?
Really?
Yeah, she was like, why did I have to be such a prude when I made Vamp? Because they did want her to do nudity, but she wouldn't do it at the time, and she regrets that. But that's her favorite role she's ever played.
Oh, how funny is that? That's great.
Yeah, so the Once Bitten thing, yeah, I mean, it's my favorite Jim Carrey movie. It has been since I was like 11, and I used to watch it over and over again. And when Kim sought me out for an interview and she told me that she was in the band, I jumped the chance because I just love that movie so much. And she wanted me to let you know, she posted the song Hands Off on Facebook during the Hands Off protest that happened last weekend.
No!
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And
Brilliant.
she said she really wants you to do the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that I, didn't even think of that song. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. Perfect.
Yeah. So why did you go by Rainbow Shalom?
I originally, my band, it was Angel and the Reruns at the time, was asked to do the movie, and then for some reason, I don't know why, but they ended up casting Maria Vidal, who's a wonderful singer. She's amazing, and they said, yeah, we just want you to. We don't want Angel and the Reruns, but we still want you to do it. And at the time, I was like, well, I was torn because it wasn't my band, but I wanted to do a movie and make some money, and
Hmm.
so I decided to do it anyways, but not use my name or Angel's name.
Yeah.
And one day I was reading, I was on set. P.S. Had a blast with all the girls in the band. We had so much fun and got so close, and we had slumber parties and everything. But one day I was on the set and I was reading some spiritual magazine or something, and there was the name Rainbow Shalom in it, and I just thought it was hilarious and brilliant. So when they asked how I wanted to be credited, I just said, "Let's use Rainbow Shalom."
Yeah, it's funny. My
Oh,
brother,
go-
my brother is my half brother, and he had an uncle who converted to Judaism later in life, and so like I would call him on the phone, and he would say Shalom Tommy.
well, that's committed,
He
definitely.
was very
Yeah,
committed.
no,
Mhm.
yeah, mine was just I read the name. They asked like, "How do you want to be credited?" And I just thought it was just amusing to me, probably, and only me.
Yeah, and that dance sequence with Jim and Lauren Hutton and Karen Copens is just magic. I just
Isn't
love
it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, and oh my God, I love the idea of hands off. I'm definitely gonna find it and do that.
Yeah, and Just One Kiss was written by Steinberg and Kelly. I talked to Steinberg a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually forgot
Oh.
to mention the Once Bitten songs. I was a little put off by how kind of aloof he was and stuff, and I forgot a couple things. But yeah, I mean, those are brilliant songs. Just One Kiss and Hands Off.
Absolutely. Right. And Maria Vidal, who sang them, just fantastic. She had performed, she was with Gilda Radner.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, she was like when Gilda did a stage show, she had like two back singers that
Yeah.
performed with her, and Maria was one of them.
Yeah, and Howard Storm directed. He's the founding father of the committee.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love your knowledge, Tommy. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, he actually had a couple committee guys in the movie. Gary Goodrow, who was the homeless guy, who's in the confession booth with Jim Carrey, and he says, "Get yourself a shovel. You're in deep shit."
Great line. Great line.
Yeah, and the original line, they were afraid that church people would be offended. Originally, he said, "Hey, I don't have any toilet paper in here. Do you?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Ah, funny. Yeah, that was a crazy movie for sure.
Now
And
you.
Lauren Hutton was like,
Uh,
why Lauren Hutton? But it worked.
She was sexy. They did a movie called Beverly Hills Vamp a few years later, and it was Britt Eklund playing the vampire,
Yeah.
the female vampire. It was kind of a rip off of Once Bitten.
Right. Wow.
Now you've written screenplays, and among them you wrote an extremely goofy movie.
Yes, this is true. Yes. What would you like to know about that?
Well, how did it come about? Because I saw the first one in the theater, and I didn't get to see the second one. But now that I know you wrote it, maybe I'll go watch it.
I was doing some other stuff for Disney at the time, writing, and they just asked if I actually rewrote it, so it's like a co-writing situation. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was fun. I had never done anything like that.
Yeah, I think Goofy is just an awesome character, and
Yeah,
it was an extension of Goof Troop that was on in my generation when I was like 8 or 9.
right. Well, and there's a great disco number where Goofy comes all decked out. I believe he might have an afro, if I recall correctly. I don't quote me on it. I might be wrong,
Yeah,
but definitely in a disco outfit.
that's so awesome. So you were friends with Carly Simon?
Yes, you could say that. That is also in my book, Queen of the Oddballs. I was 14, 15, and just obsessed with her, and my friend Molly and I would go to see her at the Troubadour, which is the small club in LA,
Mm-hmm.
where they used to have, like, amazing. I saw Elton John there. It's like 100 seats, and all the singer songwriters of the 70s like would perform, like it was Carly Simon and Cat Stevens and James Taylor and Carole King and all of those. So yes, I was determined to meet Carly Simon and befriend her, and actually did. And she would like leave free tickets for my friend Molly and I, and have us come backstage afterwards and dedicate songs to us during the concerts. And then one time there was an article, an interview with her, and she actually mentioned us, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is thrilling!" And we kept reading, and she was like, "They're big fans," and they, she went on and on, but she called us fans, and I was like bereft. And so I wrote her a letter, and I was like, "Carly, okay, remember I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Carly, I thought we were friends and you called us fans." Like, I just, I
Yeah.
don't even remember what my letter said, but she, God bless her, she wrote back, and her letter was like, "No, of course I don't think of you as that, but if I took time to defend every word reporters put in my mouth, I wouldn't have time to write songs." Or
Yeah.
it was the sweetest letter, which I happen to have held on to and included in my book. But yes, so saying I was friends with her it's a long shot, a stretch, but
Yeah.
that's where that came from.
I've been through there too. I've been through that with certain celebrities, calling me their fans instead of their friends when they call me their friends to my face. I've been there. You know.
Right. I mean, you, it might have been true for you. Us, we were not friends. We were 15. But
Yeah.
very sweet of her to go back and come back and write and say, "No, of course you're my friend."
Yeah. She dated my uncle very briefly in the late '60s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was
Boy.
he was like in the army, and she was like doing photography at that time or something. She was
Oh.
struggling as a musician, and it was like a brief little thing. My uncle is such a gentleman. He won't tell me whether or not she was good in bed, and I really want to know.
Let's just assume she was. Why not?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I Now, at this point, you've done, the internet stuff, the multimedia and everything. Are you satisfied with the direction that, the internet has gone?
What a good question.
Thank you.
It's so interesting because, at times I'm very torn. I think if I had the opportunities back in the day, what people have now, like with YouTube and able to create their own content, and like, just, I would have gone crazy and done so many things. At the same time, I just feel like, talent can be very diluted
Hmm.
with, like the popularity of like makeup tutorials and
Yeah.
things, that are happening now because of the internet and weren't before,
Hmm.
that, you know, yeah, talent can get diluted. And now with AI, we're off on a whole nother thing
Yeah.
where, you know, AI, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. It's just, you know, real, just true art and creativity will always thrive and has to keep thriving because it's such a huge part of everyone's life, whether they realize it or not.
I know the way I see it with AI. Do you remember this cartoon? It was like a Looney Tunes cartoon where this scientist invents portable holes.
No.
Okay, yeah,
uh,
you put the hole on the wall and you can go right through it, right?
oh,
And
yeah.
they get stolen by a bank robber, and so he's like robbing banks with it and jewelry stores and everything, and eventually it leads to him getting caught, which is hilarious. And the way I see AI is the same thing. Like it needs to be regulated. It shouldn't be used for evil. Like those portable
Exactly.
holes were used for evil.
Nice, nice. I like it. I like the analogy there. That's great.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem that everybody's up in arms about right now with it.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
but did you see it coming like 20 years ago?
No. Did the AI specifically?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, no. And as again, if it enhances creativity, it's one thing. If it's trying to replace creativity or people use it that way, it's another to me. But um, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people saw it coming, but I did not. Did you?
I didn't. I mean, over the last, I don't know, 6 years, I heard Joe Rogan talking about it. Like he was way ahead before anybody else, saying, he thinks that people are going to be replaceable by machines and AI is going to be the thing, right? And I'm very critical of him now with all the information that has come out of his podcast, but holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was right. I mean, we are like
Hmm.
headed in that direction, and somebody's got to blow the whistle and say, okay, we got to use this for good and not evil.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So do you have anything upcoming? Are you going to do like a little book tour for this?
Yes, a little one, and just start. Yeah, you had mentioned before, are there any other pop-up books in the works? And I'm speaking with several different interesting possibilities, but I'm obsessed now. Having made the last one, I we just had the best time, and it's such a unique and interesting way to get something across, whether it's like the history of something, or just showing, you know, different architectural or any kind of pop culture. So I hope to be doing more of those soon. I'll know shortly which ones come through.
That is so awesome. Are you working on another book already?
I'm not. I've also been doing motion design and like animated collages, and I've been doing that for some films, for some documentaries, and uh, I'm working in that area now too. I just love the combination of the kind of analog and digital.
That is so awesome. So real quick, we got to play my secret silly game. This is
Oh,
a series of silly slumber party questions. It's no win or lose. It's just pure fun. And how the game works, Hillary, is I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me that exact same question, and I answer it. And feel free
okay.
to comment on the answers because they might be funny.
Okay. I'm game. Let's do it.
Hillary, are you ticklish?
Yes, I am. Tommy, are you ticklish?
Yes, and if I get tickled without warning, I might hit you in the groin.
Good to know. I won't be tickling you.
Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
Any. How
Nice.
about your belly button? Any or outie?
It is also an innie.
Okay.
What color are your toenails painted?
Funny you should ask, because they are not right now, and I don't that often, but just this morning I thought I need to do that. I think I'm going to do that. So it feels like you were reading my mind. How about you?
They are blue green.
Nice. So like blue and green, like alternating, or just a bluish green color?
A bluish green color.
Okay, that sounds good.
They look like Easter eggs right now.
Oh, fantastic. Is it pastelly?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. All
Yeah.
right, you've inspired me to go
I'm,
do that.
yeah, I'm doing the holiday colors right now. I've been doing that since the year began.
Nice.
Did a little bit
Okay.
at the end of last year too. What would you say is your best personality trait?
Um, I think I'm gonna say my kindness and compassion for people.
You have a lot of that, which is not very common for people in the punk rock genre, but I do have to
Mm.
say you are very kind.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's kind of you to say. And how about you, Tommy? What's your best personality trait?
I have empathy and I have no filter, and that's because I'm a Gemini.
Ah, okay.
Um,
That's a good one.
yeah. If you could have anything named after you, what would it be?
Wow, that's such a good question. Uh, Gosh, something. I don't know specifically, but I'm going to say something in the creative world that inspires people. So a thing that's creative that inspires people. How about you?
A vibrator.
And why is that?
Well, I like to manifest my queerness, so why not have something named after one of my pleasures in life?
Okay, there you go.
What are your guilty pleasures?
Oh, interesting. Um, let's see. I'm gonna have to say just finding weird, unusual things that inspire me. Like there's this artist who this one just came up, who created an entire like grocery store out of felt objects. Created
Nice.
every single piece of groceries that were on the shelf is in felt. The ATM machine, a Coke machine, the whole thing, and just finding things like that could not be more exciting or fulfilling to me.
That sounds like
How about you?
that sounds like an architect model.
Yeah, right.
For me, I love eating pizza and watching a raunchy sex comedy movie like Bachelor Party.
Okay, there you go. Bachelor Party is, yeah,
And
one of the better ones or worse ones, however you look at
it depends. Yeah.
it.
And then my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Oh gosh, yes. I'm gonna. I mean, I don't even want to say the word because it could make me gag. But it's human throw up.
Oh,
My
yes.
dog can throw up. I don't have an issue. It's just the human. Yes. And you?
Either farts or feet.
Okay. Yep.
That's a popular one. The V word. Let's call it the V
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good. Yeah.
that's a popular one. I always hear that, or rotten potatoes, or trash, or something.
Okay. I did not know from rotten potatoes, so I will keep a nose out and see.
Hillary, thank you so much for coming on. This has been just a tremendous honor and a lot of fun.
Oh, what a pleasure. And thank you for doing this and for keeping pop culture alive. You
Um,
really are so knowledgeable. It's incredible, all that you know.
that means a lot
I'm
coming from
sure.
you, and I'm doing my best.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Tommy. Really appreciate it.
Yes, and do the hands off thing, and I will tell Kim. And
Yes,
you have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there.
you too. Thanks so much. Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Hillary Carlip, ain't she a sweetheart? Oh my God, I loved every minute of that conversation. She was so fun. She was game for anything, and she had a great sense of humor, and she was very appreciative of me, which I just absolutely love. I'm very emotional right now, and I'm so glad we could talk about all that stuff today. And go check out her book, Willis Wonderland, and it's available on her website and Amazon. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes. Hands off. He belongs to me. Hands off. I'm telling you one last time.